back, everyone. I've finished the half circle, all 20 rows, and there are 120 stitches all the way around. Now, one thing I didn't mention in the previous video that is in the pattern, and I want to make sure I bring it up right now, is that you're going to be placing some markers. And at the end of row 20, you want to make sure, I'm showing you the right side of row 20, you want to make sure that you put a stitch marker in the first double crochet of the group of 2 double crochets in 1 stitch, all of them that are in the middle of the fabric. You don't have to do it at the very beginning of the row, but you do need to do it in the other 2 double crochet groups. So now what we're going to be doing, I'm going to just put this back down here for a second. So now what we're going to be starting is the chevrons that make the points at the bottom of the shawl. Now the first 5 rows are the setup rows for the shawl and the chevrons that are being made. So I'm going to start here with row 1, and it's actually row 21. And the way it works is, let's go ahead and put our hook in. And first thing you're gonna do is chain 2 and turn, just like in the other patterns. I already had 1 chain there, so I only needed to chain 1. Okay, now what you're going to do is you're gonna do 2 double crochets in the first stitch. So you're gonna go ahead and do that. 1, 2. So that's the same as the other rows. But now what you're gonna do is you're going to do a double crochet in the next 8 stitches. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so if I take my hook out here for a second, you will see that we have 10 stitches total. So we have 2 here in that first stitch. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then there's number 10. So now what we are going to do is we are going to do a shell in the next stitch. Now the shell is what's going to make the peak of the chevron. And so the shell goes 2 double crochets. So we're going to do 2 double crochets in that stitch. Then we're going to chain 2. And we're going to do 2 more double crochets in that same stitch. So we're creating a shell in that 1 stitch. And when I pull the hook out here for a second, you can see right here, here's your 2 double crochets, chain 2, and then 2 double crochets. So now after that, we are going to double crochet in each stitch to the next marked stitch, which is where I have my marker right here. So we're just going to double crochet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that last stitch is 9, but remember on the other side we had 10 stitches. So what we're going to do is take that marker out. Take that marker out, and I'm going to do 1 more double crochet in that marked stitch. So that's 10. So on either side of the shell, you're going to have 10 double crochets. So now we're going to do the next chevron. And so for this next chevron, we have to do 2 double crochets in the next, just like we started the other one. So 1, 2, and then we're going to do 8 more double crochets, just 1 in each. So there's 1, make sure you get both sides at the top of the stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So we have the 2 double crochets right here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's our 10 stitches. Now we do a shell in the next double crochet. So that's 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets. Okay, now we're going to double crochet in each stitch down to the next marked stitch, which is right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the last stitch before mark stitch is 9. So we're going to remove that marker again and take that marker out, and then we're going to do a double crochet in the mark stitch, which is 10. So again, we have 10 double crochets on either side of the marked stitch, starting with the 2 double crochets in the 1 stitch. So there's start from here is 10, the shell, and then 10. Same thing with this one, 10, the shell, and then 10, and then you start with the 2 double crochets in the same stitch for the next chevron. Okay, we're going to do this 3 more times all the way across. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this row, and then I'll be back shortly to show you how to do the next 4 rows. Okay, I'm back again, and I finished row 21, and I just wanted to show you, I put the markers back in so that we could be following the pattern correctly, but you can see I now have 5 points. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I have 6 points. So we have 6 points, and each of the markers that are here, I'm going to lay it flat so you can see the markers. These 5 markers that are here are there to mark where the valleys are going to be, or the start and end of each chevron. So those are important to have, at least for the first round. Once you figure out how the stitches all work together, then you may not need the markers, but I'm going to leave them in there, and I'm going to do this next row with the markers in there. So for row 22 through 25, it's basically the same row. Everything we do is exactly the same. So I'm going to start with row 22. And with row 22, of course, we're going to chain 2 and turn. That's true with every row. And then we're going to, this time we're going to skip the first double crochet. So we're going to skip that one. And we are going to double crochet in each double crochet to next chain 2 space. Now remember, the only chain 2 spaces are in the middle of the shells that we made. I'm putting my finger right in there. So we're going to just skip that first double crochet right here, and we're going to go to the second one, and we're going to just double crochet in every stitch right up to that chain 2 space. Now the reason we skip that first stitch is because that technically is a valley that happens, and so we need to be able to keep that slant that happens in the valley, and that's going to happen with every single row that we do from this point forward. So that's why we skip that first stitch. so we've got 2 more here, and then we're at the chain 2 space. Okay, so there's the chain 2 space right there. And then it says shell in next chain 2 space. So we already know what a shell is. A shell is a 2 double crochets, chain 2. Oops. Oh, I caught something there. There we go. So there's 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 more double crochets. So there's our shell. So we've got the double crochets leading up to the chain 2 space, and then we have the shell in the chain 2 space. Then it says to double crochet to the marked double crochet. So we're going to just double crochet down now, and here our first marked stitch is over here. So we're just going to double crochet in each one of those. Oops, there. Sometimes I miss the stitch. There we go. Okay, just a couple more, 3 more, I think. 1, 2, yes, 3. Okay, so now we're at the marked stitch. I'm just going to finish that last double crochet. So there's the stitch that's marked. We're going to take the marker out. We're going to skip that marked stitch and the next double crochet. So we're going to take that marker out for a minute. I'm going to put the marker back in just a second. But that's the stitch that we just took the marker out. So we're going to skip that one, and we're going to skip that one. And then what we're going to do is we are going to double crochet in the next stitch, which is, so we skip 1, 2, and we're going to do a double crochet in that third one. Okay. And then we're going to mark that stitch that we just made. So what that's going to do is give us a place for when we do the next row, how to get our stitches lined up. Now, I'm a person that once I get to a certain point in a project, I can pretty much read my stitches, but if you can't, this is what you want to do. You want to mark your stitches exactly where I said in the pattern to mark the stitches. So we've marked that stitch. Now we're just going to double crochet all the way to the next chain 2 space, which is right here. 1. So there's going to be quite a few. Doing it again. So when I get to a certain point here, I'm going to show you how by skipping those stitches we get our valley. So okay, let's see if that works. Okay, so the marker might be in a spot where it's hard to see the valley, but you can see there's a big gap right there, and that's how we know we're at the bottom of the chevron. And as the fabric grows, that'll be more and more visible. So don't worry about not seeing a valley right off the bat when you're doing this. So just a few more here. Two more. 1, 2. Now we're at the chain 2 space. So what do we do in the chain 2 space? We do a shell. So 2 double crochets, chain 2, and then 2 double crochets. And then we are just going to double crochet all the way down this side of the chevron. And we are going to stop at the marked stitch. And I'm going to show you this time a different way of working with the markers so that you don't always have to take it out, put it down, crochet, and then pick it up and put it back in. This is what I do. So I'm almost there. If I was going to work in the marked stitch, I would do it differently and take it out. But since we're not working in the marked stitch, I'm right there. Since we're not working in that marked stitch, we're skipping it and the next stitch. What I do is I throw the marker to the back, and then I skip that marked stitch, and I skip the next stitch. I do my double crochet in the next stitch. Then I take my marker out. Sometimes it takes a little bit for me to get there. There we go. Take the marker out and then mark the stitch I just made. So you don't have to take out the marker right away in this case if you're skipping the marked stitch. But you do eventually have to take it out to mark the stitch that gives you the information about where to go next for the next row. So now this is basically the same thing. You're going to double crochet all the way up to the chain 2 space. So on this side, we're going to double crochet up to the chain 2 space, which is right here. I'm going to do a shell in that chain 2 space. Then I'm going to go all the way down to the marked stitch, and then I'm going to skip those 2 stitches, and then we're going to start again. So we're going to do that all the way across, and then we're going to repeat the whole process 3 more times. So when you get to the end of row 25, you're going to have 192 double crochets, 6 chain 2 spaces, and there should be 32 double crochets on either side of the chain 2 space for that particular chevron. So from marker to marker, you're going to have 32 here, chain 2 space, 32 here to the next marker on row 25. So that's the end of this part of this video. As soon as I get through row 25, I will jump to the next video where we start working on the final part of the shawl.